about that as much as I'm thinking about it now, because my birthday was like a really big deal last year. And just because, I mean, I have three daughters, and they're really cool, and they're in their young 20s, and they're just fun, and we just know how to really have a good time together. So I'm really blessed in that way. But I started thinking about my year, and it was a pretty good one. And, at the risk of sounding like, oh, Bev's got such a great life, everything was so cool. I'm telling you, there was some balance in that year. And I lost relationship, I gained relationship, I bettered myself, I got a promotion, all this kind of stuff. But it was also met with, a lot of sadness too. And, when you look over your year, you kind of look at that. And so today, here I was feeling all fussy, I'm all excited. And then life just can kind of do that to you. Like you think it's going a certain way and that everything is under control and everything's good. And then it just decides to play a little game on you. And that's kind of what happened. And when we have this big snowstorm, as we did in Akron, and I was on my way to Cleveland the other day, there was this woman, and she had spun out. And she was facing the opposite direction in the median. And as I was passing by, because everybody was slowing down for it, I wanted to make sure she was talking on a phone, and she was. But I was like, man, her day just got flipped. Like, she is not going to be having the same day she thought when she took off. And that's what life does to us. So we can plan, but always be prepared for things to go a little bit crazy. Kind of keeping that in your back pocket, because that way, like today, when I'm not kidding you guys, I don't know what happened in this past year, but like when my toe did that, I just like went into like this mode of like, okay, this is what you do next. You're going to snap your toe in place, you're going to put your sock on, you're going to put your boot on, and you're going to finish getting ready. I went into like a robot mode. And I think that some of that comes from because I've been on my own, and you just get to this place where, not selfishly and not hardened, like I think of myself as a really like scared, kind of tender kind of person. But you really do have a strength within. And so it brought me to a place that if I can just about face, like my, I know it's just a toe. Please, miss, don't think I'm thinking like it's that major. But if I can about face on just having broke a toe, put a sock on, put a boot on, and realize that, yeah, it hurts, and yeah, this just happened to you, but straighten up, fly right, do what you've got to do. Imagine what we could do in the face of like fear or pain. It hurts. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Wendy, call me. 330-752-8409. You had a really good week. I want to talk to you about it. But anyways, I could absolutely like spend some real time in meditation on that. Like, really, what else could I do? Like, if we spent our time focused on that mode of thinking, not all the time, but just dedicate some time to that. Like, what if we dedicated 30 to 40 minutes in a day to focusing on, oh, even though I have my little room, Tanner's on the other side. I don't want anybody giving me any sob stories. He has the whole house to himself. So if you guys can hear Tanner, which I'm making an excuse for and a disclaimer, don't feel bad. He has toys, food, water. He is not in a kennel. But let's just think about that. Let's just think about if I would take that energy, I honestly, Okay, wait a minute. I'm texting somebody this number. I just said 330-752-8409. And I'm texting it to you. 330-752-8409. Yeah, we are really high tech here at the Bev D show, and everything is all pulled together. And I'll get my, oh no. I'll get my phone screener to get this. This is the Bev D show. This is Bev. Who are you and where are you
Hi.
calling from?
Hi, Bev. This is Wendy, and I am calling from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, you're in Charlotte. That's
I
awesome,
am. I get to be
Wendy.
home this week.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for calling in. I've been dying to talk to you on a personal level, but it's really been crazy, as you can hear. But I really want to ask you a couple of questions about stuff you've been going through. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so just so everybody knows, our listeners know, I met Wendy. I actually trained her as an advertising sales executive. She came in, she takes care of we do advertising for, we sell advertising for church bulletins as well as senior centers have newsletters. So Wendy is on the road helping out senior centers and helping out businesses grow their business through advertising. And we met, and it was just a connection right from the start, right, Wendy? I think I'm not speaking alone here, right?
Yeah. No, it was just a wonderful person to just get to know. So it was an instant connection, and I'm grateful for that.
Thank you so much. And one of the things that I'm so impressed with is how she is doing so much traveling. So you go from A to Z, and with her new job, you're doing so much traveling. So I know that it isn't all easy. So how do you transition that, and how do you pull from that? Because I know you've had some recent successes. How do you pull from that? It's kind of like when I'm talking about my broken toe this morning. You have to shift gears a lot.
I do. So I called Bev a little while back and just kind of talked about feeling isolated. Because like Monday through Thursday, I get pulled away from family. I get, pulled away from my normal routine, and I don't really see a lot of people. And then I'm in the hotel, and, some of the cities I go to, there's not a lot of places to just walk and be out and about in those cities. So a lot of it is just tough. It's a mindset. You have to change your mindset. You have to, if there's no place to go, I've been trying to call people, my friends, my family, and just connect in those ways. And I'm like mentally listening to a lot of podcasts like this, or, just to keep myself motivated on those days that I'm gone and I'm not home. And like you said, I pick up the phone every day. So, but those are really the things that that I've had to do to kind of overcome, because I wasn't prepared for it to make me feel isolated and alone, with that much travel.
And I love what you're saying because you had to switch. You had to you had a certain mindset, exactly what you said. But then
Mm-hmm.
your job, which you love, was putting you in these isolated situations. And what I know you and I talked about, and without going into too much depth or personal stuff, it is what we go through. I go through that. I went through that, and I was
Mm-hmm.
at my home base. It isn't so much.
Right.
So we can find that, and I think what you have, Wendy, is having had that experience. And I know I mentioned this to you on the phone. I know it doesn't make sense now, but you are going through this for a reason.
Mm-hmm. And it was very helpful to have you to call. It's always good to have somebody who understands that, and to know that you can reach out to that person. That was helpful.
I love that. And since then, I mean, we're just so everybody knows, we are in the job of contacting businesses, talking them about the benefits of advertising. Let me just say this first and foremost: we get told no. much more than we get told yes. So we are
A lot.
yeah. We are psycho. We're professionals at being told no. And
Right.
we have to come around that and realize that that's part of it. But I know that since I've talked to you and I kind of texted and, lightly touched base, how are you doing?
Mhm.
Thinking about you kind of
Right.
texts. And then you've had some recent successes based on your perseverance.
I have actually very good success, so I'm excited.
And
So I mean, not that you want to be isolated like that, but those successes kind of bring you back up and remind you what you're doing as well, even through all those no's.
and through the nose and the isolation, how annoying was I telling you the number one thing to do during 9 to 5?
Which just pick up that phone call. I mean, probably
I'm
I didn't
sorry, but
want
that's what
to,
you gotta do.
when I was yeah, and when I was having that moment, like when I called you, it's just not what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear just go home and sleep and cry, but that's I'm glad you weren't like that. Because it wasn't what I wanted. What wasn't what I needed. I needed someone to say just keep at it, because it's just a moment and it's just a day, and you will get through those, and find something that's outside of work. I think that was important for me to hear,
Mm-hmm.
because I went home and I called people I hadn't talked to in a while, because
Yeah.
I was able to take that opportunity and say, you know what, I am sitting in this hotel room. There isn't
Yeah.
anywhere for
Let's
me to
have a
go,
glass of wine
and I can
together.
make those
Yeah.
connections. Yeah. So it's been good. It's been helpful. I appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome, Wendy. But I think you remember also when I was telling you about picking up the phone is I did curl up in the fetal position and cry on my couch. I did
Right.
withdraw. That did not work. I mean,
Right.
we talked about my dog dying and all this other kind of stuff and things that had happened to me. And
Right.
our
Mhm.
job is to talk to human beings and make things
Right.
better for them or ourselves or whatever. But yeah, when things go
Mhm.
bad, I tried it. I tried going home and crying, and just and I was so heavy in my heart that I could
Mhm.
not lift myself up. And then one day I went, "Oh my God, you
Right.
have this beautiful job in front of you waiting for you to work it." And that's why,
Right.
if it was a little bit of tough love, Wendy, I'm sorry, but I think some really good things have come from it, and I'm so happy for
Well,
you.
it was well worth it. I wasn't loving it in the moment,
I know you weren't.
but
I hope
I
I
was
didn't piss
able
you
to
off.
reflect on it later.
I was like, "Oh my God, I think I
No,
just lost a friend. I pissed her off." And it's like,
no.
"No."
I think that's a good friend. I think those who don't do that are not actually there to help you and support you and make you better. So it was everything I needed, and that's exactly what a good friend will do. So I appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome. And the thing is, and the reason why I was forcing you to call is because Wendy has been listening to me faithfully and saying a lot of different things and helping me through with the way that she responded to the show and stuff like that. So it's very constructive, and I really do appreciate it. I appreciate you listening, and I love that you're all these different places. So talk to me about, if I can just ask you a couple more questions. Now that you have maybe gotten through that hurdle, and by the way, it may come to visit again, that isolation and
Mhm.
stuff, and you have to lean back into this moment. Have you leaned into the fact that you get to go to these different places and kind of, even if it's a hotel room and it's quiet and it's beautiful, and like you said, to call friends. I mean, I know you're on the road a lot. Is that better for you on Sundays and Monday mornings?
Um, Sometimes it is and sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
I guess it just depends on, if I'm missing something
Mhm.
and my son's weak, because he's only got 5 more months of high school left. And so if anything falls on like Monday through Thursday, I can tell that traveling that week is harder for me,
Mhm.
because I know I'm going to miss it and I'm not going to get to return to that. But then at the same time, I have people take pictures and do that stuff. They do what, I need to do, and